Tomorrow is International Youth Day, celebrated after a week of activities across Kenya to hear the voice of the biggest age demographic in Kenya. Now, the government saw the need to engage youth this year in a more meaningful way. I sat down with the Public Service, Youth and Gender Affairs Cabinet Secretary, Kobia, and I started by asking her what key programs the government is looking to roll out this financial year to empower the youth.
What the government has decided to do is not to form a Biashara Bank, but to form Biashara Kenya Fund, which means it remains as a fund, which means it doesn't have to go through the rigorous kind of registration and the regulations of the bank, but it means a fund. Then it will be put in one, that means it will be more efficient, more effective. What we have also done, and through regulations, is to ensure that since this money of Women Enterprise Fund, Youth Enterprise Fund, WESO, they are affirmative funds. They are funds established by the government to reach out the unreached. Therefore, we want to say 80% of the Biashara Kenya Fund will be ring-fenced so that it will be easily accessible to women, youth, and the people living with disability. The other thing the government has done with the Biashara Kenya Fund is to increase. Right now, we have loaned all funds have loaned close to 35 billion since 2016. That is, 35 billion is a lot of money. Therefore, what the government intends to do is to increase by 2 billion every year to this Biashara Kenya Fund, which means more money will be more accessible, and also still the training capacity building for the people who want to access the fund is also going to be there. And I'm sure the next 6 months we should be able to have the Biashara Kenya Fund off and running.
And there's a lot of concern when it comes to youth funds and youth programs that are easy targets for corruption. How do you ensure that that money goes to where it's supposed to?
We have now a new Director General. We have also decided that since procurement seems to be the problematic department, we have removed all the people who were there before, and of course some of them are facing court issues, and we have also put new people. Above all, we are strengthening our internal financial management controls by kind of segregating duties so that should something go wrong, it is known who is culpable and can be punished accordingly. It's unfortunate also that in this country the issues of corruption are really embedding and interfering with the progress being made. So I would also urge the youth, where they realize some form of corruption, first, they should not be corrupting by themselves. Two, they should be able to report, and they should not bend by being asked for you to get a job, you need to give some money.
You had mentioned earlier that business is not for every young person, you know, and there's some who desire to get into the workforce and work in an office and earn a salary, but oftentimes trying to apply and have the necessary documentation can be a challenge for many young people that bars them from entering the workforce. What is the ministry doing to ensure that it's a bit easier for them to enter, at least from an entry-level perspective?
Recently, the Parliament did pass a regulation that young people should not be asked for KRI, a certificate of good conduct, help, clearance loan, credit reference. You know, the four requirements for people to get a job. I think, to me, that was a very good move, because youth, when they are applying for jobs in government, no longer need to look for all this documentation, which was taking too much of their time, and at the same time also it was expensive. Therefore, it has been decided for the youth, so long as they have the ID card, and if somebody can be able to see they have good grades, or they can compete, because in the public service to get a job you must compete with others for the purpose of getting into merit.